It's hard to put into words. But you guys can kind of see why I hate Zdrada right now, okay? What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm the Korrupted Judge, and welcome back to Helltaker the Second Circle. The game where, apparently, a lot more lore is introduced rather than the original game. In the last episode, guys, we did part 2 of Melina's third date, and I got a whole lot of information in regards to the whole Melina Zadrada arc. But that is only half the story. Hopefully, in this date, we can find a way to get Zdrada to tell us her side of the story. Because we don't know what happened after Melina went off over to Hell's capital. So I want to know what happens while Zdrada was there. Because according to Lucy, she said that reports came in of a sour demon that was on the outskirts right after the Four Lords were overthrown. However, she also said that Zdrada was basically around already and that Melina just randomly showed up afterwards. So that led me to believe, like, oh, Melina just showed up out of nowhere. But in Melina's side of the story, her and Zdrada are already together. So I want to see what Zdrada has to say, and hopefully we can figure something out. With that said, let's kick it a nickel. In light of recent events, Lucy has called a house meeting over dinner. Of the demons who are attending, only Melina is missing. Wait, why? Is this taking place before or after Melina's date? Because at the end of Melina's date, she said she was ready to become part of the household again. Because she was in this depressed, drinking state. So why is she not attending now? You've made extra rare Salisbury steak in hopes of placing some of the less placating some of the less happy demons, or at least give them an outlet. The garnishing of the meat does little to dissuade the Queen of Hell, whose voice cuts through the commotion like a knife. Hello, my queen. Alright, tell me, Lucy, maybe you can give me some backstory. I've brought you all together tonight to speak of an important issue, as many of you now know. Lucy inclines her head towards Cerberus, who does not meet her gaze. I'm guessing this takes place after the Cerberus date, when they tried to get information out of her. Or in some cases, have witnessed firsthand. Hopefully she's talking about the Four Lords, because I don't know how Helltaker knows anything about those demons now. The former archdemon of greed, Mammon, has been spotted in the area. Mammon is one of the 4 dethroned lords of hell, expelled by Justice and I some 600 years ago. Okay, so they're well over 600 years old. That was back in the good old days. I remember I took on Abaddon, the Slothful, in a winner-take-all punch-out. Okay, so I was right that she is the Sin of Sloth. But I can't imagine her going toe-to-toe with Justice. After their defeat, we stripped them of all but their most basic powers, and charged them out of hell and into the mortal plane. Wait a minute! So, let me get this straight. You dethroned them, stripped them of their godlike power. If you guys remember from the Beale second date, they had, anyone with white horns has the ability to turn into a more appropriate form for their powers. That's why Beale's able to transform into the big fly. It also means that the white horns aren't of age, it's a sign of power. Lucy's got white horns, which means she already has that power. But if you get damaged, and it's like, if you guys have ever seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, then think of it as like the Avatar state. If you get hit or you get injured in some kind of way in that form, you're not going to be able to get back into that form until you heal or get the part of you that was taken away. So, they stripped them of that power, like they took something from them while they were in their Ultra Instinct form or whatever, and then they sent them over to the mortal realm, which is Earth. And now they're surprised that they're seeing them on Earth when they're there now. This game has no logic. Well, I don't know. Lucy dropped the ball on this one, I guess. You can't be seriously concerned about Mammon. As far as the Akastic records are concerned, she gave up without a fight after the devised victory of Justice over Abaddon. Oh yeah, cause what was her name? Zathana said that Mayman didn't help in regards to the fight. 3 of the 4 lords decided to help out in the fight. Mayman didn't even put up a fight. In fact, I think she tried to run. But the fact that she gave up after Abaddon's defeat, or Abby's defeat, that actually gives me a little more information. So she saw how powerful Justice was and decided just to give up. If Cerberus and Taker can handle her, I'm sure she poses no credible threat to the rest of us. Cerberus casts a miserable glance your way. Obviously, the rest of the assembled demons have yet to hear the specifics of your ill-fated last encounter with Mayman. Mayman has a way of pushing Cerberus back. According to Mayman, because she's not guilty of doing anything wrong per se into some kind of agreement, Cerberus has no plausible cause into getting her. So that's the problem. But Cerberus can touch one of the others apparently, depending on what it is that they've done. There's a lot of specific details that I'm not going to get into because I'm recording this late at night once again. So we're just going to have to keep going and keep a watchful eye. On the contrary, the appearance of Mayman has me greatly concerned, more so even than the appearance of the other demon lords. Mayman's a coward through and through, which means her brashness is backed up by one or more of the other demon lords. Just judgment has graced us with her presence. But you said that you'd strip them of their powers away. Almost. Even united, how could they harm us? Lucy shakes her head. Though it pains me to admit it, I do not know. However, their leader, Zathana, has an incredibly wrathful nature. And you know that's her title too, because it's the W's capitalized. Her spite is not to be underestimated, at any cost. Justice puts a hand on Lucy's shoulder, but the Queen of Hell brushes it off impatiently. Regardless of the practical threat they may pose, I know their goals to be singular. They want to reclaim what I took from them so long ago. They want the throne of Hell. To rule in brimstone and anarchy, as they once did 666 years ago, stopping them is critical if we... Lucy's cut off by an unnecessarily noisy cough from across the table. I bet you any money it's Zdrada. Oh no! And the music stopped. Please don't screw this up already. This is literally supposed to be your date, and you're gonna screw this up. And if this drags on, I'm gonna end up making it its own video. Flanked by Cerberus, Zdrada smirks as she stabs out the smoldering butt of her cigarette on her outstretched tongue, meeting Lucy's eyes full on. Zdrada speaks her piece. Yeah, you keep using that word, but funny thing, I can't really see what this has to do with the rest of us, boss. I mean, she'll kick your ass. We're all in this together, Zdrada. Okay. Zdrada shoots to her feet, slamming her palms down on the old wooden table. Uh-oh. Wrong. This isn't about us. This is about you keeping hold of your power. A couple of sympathetic murmurs, mostly from Cerberus, sounds from the rest of the table. It looks like Zdrada's words have struck resonant nerves among the assembled demons. Why? Okay. I get that she has a vendetta against Lucy, because I guess she feels, at this point, given Melina's stories, Zdrada feels like Lucy took her little sister away. Now she has this whole vendetta and everything against her. If anything, Zdrada would love to see Lucy go down. But that's not what we're here to do. So, if Zdrada somehow turns the whole household against Lucy, then this is going to be a problem. I'm really hoping that she doesn't. Oh, come on! Okay. Let me save again. That must be hard. Okay, so I'm going to save it on here. Because I already know what happens in the other date. On Melina's third date, I put it in the ways of making sure that that Melina will try and make things better with Zdrada. So in this case, I'm gonna intervene, and maybe off camera I'll do the other one where where we let Zdrada speak. That accusation is out of order, Zdrada. Whatever her motivations, the fact remains that... I don't recall asking your opinion, bootlicker. Lucy's got a lot to answer for. Well, I mean, that is true too, that she's been withholding a lot of information. Why, you ungrateful whelp. Under my guidance, hell ran like a well-oiled machine. Might was no longer the sole proprietor of right. Me and my sister's lives weren't easier under your oh-so-beloved... Oh, no, yeah, she's bringing it up. You have a real knack for ruining everything, don't you? Far from empowering us, your insurrection stripped me of my only method of taking care of those around me. Zdrada sits back in her chair, arms folded defiantly. And now you want us to act as your shields? I ain't deaf, and I've heard the stories about your ascent to the throne. Let me assure you, I ain't planning on falling on any blade, might you. Fuck that, and fuck you. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that if I didn't intervene, she would be saying this exact same thing. So the question is, did me intervening help Lucy in any kind of way? I don't take orders from falling despots. Lucy takes a deep breath, turning away from Zadrada. She addresses the table at large. Assembled demons, leave the room. I wish to speak in private with Zdrada. Cerberus moves to protest, but is quickly silenced by the combined efforts of judgment and justice. Makes sense. Nodding to Lucy, Justice sees the other demons exit the room, before squeezing her shoulders reassuringly. Try to keep him from throwing down in the kitchen, okay? It's my night to do the washing up. Makes sense. Leaving, you feel rather drastically unprepared for whatever is about to happen. Justice leaves the room, closing the door behind her. Taking a deep breath, Lucy addresses her strange critic. It appears you still have yet to learn humility in the presence of your social betters. Seeing as we have a common cause, I'm willing to let this slide this once. In exchange, you shall... Somebody's breaking glass. With a viper-quick sweep of her hand, Zdrada hurls her glass of wine at Lucy's head. Oh, shit. Fortunately for both parties, her aim is off course. The glass misses Lucy by a good 6 inches before hitting the far wall and exploding into crystalline shards. I shall do as I always have, exactly what I please. Lucy jumps to her feet, her face burning red. Oh, this is a new sprite, and I like it. Pouty face Lucy. Insubordination. If we were back in hell, I'd have you publicly flayed for such arrogance. Zdrada barks out a harsh laugh, but her shoulders are tense, ready to launch another assault if Lucy shows any signs of making good on her threat. Don't threaten me with a good time, boss. Besides, you can't really do shit to command us in this world. The others may follow you out of some kind of schizophrenic loyalty. But this here gal knows what she's worth. Not much. You're ruining another date. Because of all this rambling, this is gonna end up being its own video, like house meeting, the first house meeting. And it ain't really looking to be your, and I ain't really looking to be your bottom bitch here on Earth. ... That's why you sent them away, ain't it? You don't want them to see that you can't back up your threats outside of hell. You're clinging to the hope that either their fear or respect of you is enough to keep them in line. Well, I've got bad news for you, Queenie. We're running dry on both counts. No, Lucy's gonna cry. Don't make Lucy cry! Stop! By my authority as Queen of Goddamn Hell, I command you to stay. Zdrada hesitates by the door, poised to leave. Shrugging, she turns around to launch one final Arabic barb at Lucy before turning once more and departing. Or what? If you couldn't stop me, if you could have stopped me, you would have done so already. Ciao, losers. I get why she's mad, but it's hard to put into words. But you guys can kind of see why I hate Zdrada right now, okay? She ruined Melina's date. She ruined Melina's second date. She ruined our second date with her by getting us high. Then she ruined Judgment's second date, and that's one I'm never going to forgive her for. Alright? And now here we are, trying to have a house meeting, and it's supposed to be Zdrada's third date, and she's already humiliated Lucy in front of the entire house. Lucy is one of my top 5. I can tell you that much. So seeing what Zdrada's doing to her, it doesn't suit well with me. Silence reigns for a full minute in the room. Lucy does not meet your gaze, and she's clutching her hand so tightly her knuckles have gone white. Lucy, don't worry. Ah! In a single fury motion, Lucy sweeps her hand upwards, bringing them crashing down onto the table with a terrible force. Cracks radiate outwards from the impact, the sturdy wood of the table no match for Lucy's temper. Still breathing heavily, Lucy screws her eyes shut. Slowly, over the course of the next few moments, she pulls herself together, her breathing slows, and her hands unclench. Eventually, her eyes once again open, still seething with the repressed frustration. When her words finally turn to her, they come slowly, barely, making it through her tightly clenched teeth. Holy Christ. I have never seen angry Lucy, and I'm into it. Oh, man. Given how long this recording is just for this, I'm going to end up making this another one of its own things again. The question is, am I going to make it like Zdrada Date Part 1? Or am I just going to call it its own thing, like House Meeting Number 1? Impulsive as always, that woman still thinks her agenda is the only one that matters. Remind me again, why you decided to bring her along? Well, in the original game, we didn't decide to bring her along. I kind of wanted to leave her behind, if I remember correctly. But she decided that she wanted to come along anyways. Granted, I do wish that we left her down there. Wait. I don't know what these words mean. Okay, hang on. Let me save it again. We're going to put it into the one I saved before, because I know that it wouldn't have made a difference no matter what I chose. But I don't know what these words mean. Hang on. Let me search this up. Let's see. Chase this. Rebark or reprehend severely. He should chase his colleagues for their laziness. What? I still don't get it. Oh, scold, upbraid, reprehend, reprove, revoke. Okay, so what's the other one mean? Is the other one the better option then? Because I don't know what these words mean. And I don't think Team 133 thought that I was going to be smart enough to search this up, even while I'm recording. Placent. Make someone less angry or hostile. They attempt to replace the students with promises. Okay. This didn't tell me too much of what I wanted to know. I'm not going to scold her, which is apparently what the chase this means, is the first option. So, I am going to placate. I'm not entirely sure what goes through her head half the time. She never shares her eternal strife. She calmed down, thank God. But low-key, I want to see angry Lucy again. Lucy nods, finishing the thought. Unless she can inflict it upon those around her. A fact her sisters learned only too well. Still, this is excessive, even for her. I can only wonder what's causing her to lash out like this. Okay, so is this before the Melina date then? Because Melina wasn't there. So does this mean I should have done this date before Melina's date? God damn it. I'm doing all these out of order. Truth be told, at any other point, it wouldn't concern me. However, recent events have caused me to elevate my priorities. Are you talking about the existence of other demons on Earth? Indeed. I mean, that's not too far out there. I mean, if you guys can get out there, then it makes sense that others will. And you threw the four dethroned lords on into the mortal realm as well. So that one's on you. We need to beware of possible attempts to divide us. And though it pains me to admit it, we need Zdrada on our side if it comes to blows. Yeah, that's kind of true. She is a heavyweight. We're in agreement then. She needs to be brought around. I'll go talk with her and learn what I can. Perhaps there's more to her current state than we realize. Lucy steeps her fingers, peering over them and across the table at you. It's not only Zdrada. We need to close ranks. And a fondness for you seems to be the only thing we all have in common. I mean, that's what a harem is. If the four are seeking to hurt me, they'll by extension be looking to hurt you. I'll see what I can do. Time is of the essence. I'll keep the rest of the girls busy so they don't interfere with your talk with Zdrada whenever you've chosen to have it. Talk with her now or talk with her later. Why are there so many... This really is The Walking Dead. Hang on, let me do another save. Angry Lucy here. I'm going to save it just below that, because odds are off camera. I'm going to do the other option of scolding Lucy, maybe. Frig. I don't know what to do! If I talk to her later, does that mean the date ends and I don't talk to her at all? Okay, let me try talking to her later. I want to see what happens. Who knows, maybe the date will end like that. Bruh. Oh man, okay. Well, now we know. And thank God I had a save file. Okay, so we gotta go talk to her now then. However, this date is going on long, which means... you guys know what's gonna happen. I didn't think that I'd have to be doing this throughout videos. I never like doing parts 1 and 2. But because of how long these go for, and I don't like wasting any of you guys' time in regards to these dates, I gotta cut it into 2 parts. That way you guys don't have to watch me play this for like an hour. So, with that said, guys, I'm the Korrupted Judge, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around.